Hello, family. Welcome to our YouTube channel. So my name is Tanya Radzwa, um, but people who know me, they call me Tanya. Yeah. So I'm excited for this very first episode. I know that a lot of people have been looking forward to this episode, and today we have our renowned guest.
He said renowned. That's so funny. Oh goodness.
Lazarus. Yeah. So if you could just introduce yourself.
All right, hello guys. My name is Lazarus. You can call me Laz if you know me too well. Most of my mates call me Lazi. Uh, I've been Tanya's friend for quite a while now, and this is a project that he really wanted to start, and we had conversations around it, and I'm glad that it's coming to fruition. So yeah, so excited.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so we'll just go straight into it for the main topic of the day. So it's a very interesting topic, um, social acceptance versus self-acceptance.
Ooh.
Yeah, drum rolls. Yeah, okay. So I'm just going to pose a question to you. So, like from your own perspective,
Yeah.
what do you think social acceptance is?
That's a tricky one. Social acceptance. Um, I feel like I've gone back into class. That's how I feel right now. Like the teachers just posed the question, and now I'm the anxiety of
Ooh,
saying the right answer.
yeah.
Yeah. But what I'll take as social acceptance is the yearning to be welcomed in society,
Mm-hmm.
yearning to get a place, finding your standing
Mm-hmm.
in society, asserting yourself and yeah, affirming yourself regarding other people's views towards you. That's social acceptance,
Mm-hmm.
and it's highly unattainable. It's difficult for you to find yourself in a space where you can say you're socially accepted.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, social acceptance is quite a controversial phenomenon if you come to think of it, because
Yeah.
it's like you are trying to do things just so people accept you.
Accept you. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, so it's like you lose yourself in the process.
yeah.
It's an interesting topic. I'm glad you came up with this.
It's very
Yeah.
interesting. Yeah, because sometimes you just lose like your self values.
Mm,
If you then tend to focus more on like being accepted socially. So it's a really interesting topic. And I like that you mentioned about um, you just want to fit in a
yeah.
certain group. You just want to feel loved.
Right.
You want to feel valued.
Yeah.
So to me, that's social acceptance. And then we'll move on to self acceptance.
Self acceptance for me, it starts inwardly. I
Yeah.
guess I'm sure most of you would agree. If you know yourself, then it's easier for other people to, I guess, to see the light in you.
Yeah.
So self acceptance is, I would say, speaking from my own personal experience, I would say I'm somebody who battles body dysphoria.
Mm-hmm.
So you look struggling to accept yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and even if another person is gonna say, you look thin, or you these days you're losing weight or you're gaining weight,
Yeah.
it will still impact on your esteem.
Mm-hmm.
So self acceptance is accepting yourself come what may.
Yeah.
In the good times and the bad
Yeah.
times, you are so sure of yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
you love the person that you are.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, it stems from self awareness. That's yeah, self acceptance for me. Accepting yourself in every light.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I would agree with you. Yeah. Self acceptance is like um, being self aware in terms of like your strengths, your weaknesses,
Mm.
and accepting them wholeheartedly, and not being afraid to express or um, to be seen as who you are. So yeah, it's a very interesting topic, but I think most of us we tend to struggle in terms of like accepting
True.
ourselves, accepting especially when we are in a vulnerable position, accepting our weaknesses as well. And I feel like sometimes you might not even be you might not be aware of your weaknesses.
Right.
So it's just making sure that you assume your identity, you accept yourself, because I think a lot of people, we tend to struggle because we're trying to portray a different picture of ourselves.
Certain image, yeah.
Yeah, a certain image, and we then end up losing ourselves.
The process,
So it is important that you become self-aware, and then you accept yourself. Yeah.
Do you know what I just thought of?
Yeah.
I thought surely you would relate to this. Being, say, coming from the southern part of Africa and traveling all the way to Europe.
Yeah.
You get there, it's different.
Mm-hmm.
So you have your own values that were instilled in you growing up in Africa. And then all of a sudden you're a 20 somebody, 20-year-old somebody, and you are in Europe. The difference is quite jarring. You might stand to lose yourself in the process because you're trying to fit in.
Yeah.
You came all the way from Africa and you had a sense of self, a positive sense of self. And now because there's a linear way of thinking and there's a standardized, I guess, kind of beauty or image that is expected of you.
Yeah.
For instance, I'm wearing a turban. If I were to wear this back home, obviously, they would say so much about it. They would ridicule me about it. But now I'm wearing it this side because I guess I'm trying to fit in. Who knows? That's really not the case. It's just about style. But that's what I mean. There are certain things that we pick up when we get into certain spaces because we're trying to fit in, and we may stand to lose ourselves in the process.
Yeah.
So yeah, I just had to give that example of like moving spaces, like you've moved from Africa and then you find yourself in Europe. It's kind of difficult to juggle the change and to try and manage yourself and try not to get lost in trying to settle in a new space. So yeah, that's I'm sure you would relate to that.
Yeah, it's really interesting because sometimes you then just tend to lose your identity because you have moved from one place to the other, and then you're just trying to fit into a certain maybe culture or a certain system, and then you tend to lose yourself. It's really interesting because when you also talk about like being self-aware of, or self-acceptance rather, criticism. Yeah. So how do you handle criticism? Because that's how we tend then to be self-aware in terms of like our weaknesses. So how then do you tend to like handle criticism or view criticism?
It takes me back to the point I just brought up about having moved, because for me that is something that I'm still experiencing. And so criticism, the first criticism I would think of is the first point of reference, at least for me, would be accent. So when I still have my accent, it's
Zimbabwean accent.
Honestly, A for apple, B for banana. You can never run away from it. So you get into a space where you stand to be ridiculed, and the likelihood of you trying to fit in, just so you are not criticized, to say, "Oh, sorry, what are you? Did you that thing?" So criticism can also add to your insecurities. So it could be good. There's obviously a constructive criticism. But half of the time, or 3/4 of the time, is criticism to just diminish your confidence. So yeah, I would say criticism is quite. We can do without it. We can do without criticism, because without criticism, it gives you some form of freedom. To express freedom, to show your true self. Sometimes we withhold our true selves to people because we're afraid to be criticized, to say, okay, if I show them how goofy I am, they're going to accept me, which goes back to social acceptance. If I show them the way, or sometimes most of us have got talents. If I show them that I can sing, would they really find my voice to be to their taste? That thing again. So you tend to withhold your talents, you tend to withhold your gifts because you're afraid of criticism. Yeah,
Yeah,
so that's how
yeah.
I view it. It's weird how all these topics marry into each other.
Yeah, exactly. Because I think sometimes people then tend to like hide behind saying like it's um, constructive criticism,
Mm,
yet it's not. Their intentions is just to reduce maybe your moral
mm,
or just reduce like your willpower, because maybe they identify like you have a certain gift or a certain talent,
yeah.
and then they just want to um, demotivate you. So it's really interesting in terms of how they correlate and how they are
Yeah.
interrelated, these topics, and you can go on and on and on and on. Yeah. Then the other thing I wanted to raise, around social acceptance and self acceptance. So, what's important between the two? What is important? Is it important to be socially accepted, or is it important to like accept yourself?
That's sorry, but I would have to quote the scripture for this one because it's interesting. If you self-accept, yeah, that's fine.
Mm,
You've accepted yourself.
yeah.
You know yourself.
Mm,
Good for you. The bigger thing is once you've accepted yourself, are other people going to accept you in their spaces? For you to thrive, you can't thrive in solitude.
mm,
You also need to have people in your space.
mm,
Yeah, no man is an island.
yeah.
So if you find, which is why I said I wanted to quote the scripture for this, because somewhere in the Bible it says, uh, if you find favor in God and in men,
Mm-hmm.
then all things will be aligned. So you at some point you need to accept yourself, but
Mm,
also ensure that your ways tally into the society's ways.
mm,
Yeah, so social acceptance isn't entirely bad.
yeah.
It isn't entirely bad. So you can strive to be self-aware and to be self-conscious,
Mm-hmm.
but also ensure that your ways allow you to be accepted in the society.
Mm-hmm.
Because if like you're antisocial, you're a thief, you are a robber, you are a rapist,
Mm,
obviously you won't be accepted.
mm-hmm.
In fact, you will be put into correctional facilities because you are a threat to society. You can't be accepted
Yeah.
into society. So do things that make you to be accepted,
Mm-hmm.
but that doesn't mean that you should try and lose yourself in trying
In the
to be
process.
accepted.
Yeah.
Yeah, just be decent. That's all I'm saying. Just be decent.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah, I guess that's it.
Yeah. So I have, I think I had something, I don't remember who I had it from, that I think you are your own brand.
Mhm.
So it is important that you market your brand. Yeah. So it's, if you're marketing your brand, you are self-aware, and you, like what we're saying, that you accept yourself in terms of like your flaws, your strengths, and you utilize them strengths, so that you also become socially acceptable in the community.
Yeah.
So you need to really focus more on your strengths and as well your weaknesses as well, trying to improve and just trying to develop yourself, to be a better version of yourself so that you can market your own brand. So you do not need to be intimidated or to feel threatened by other people. You just need to love yourself. You just need to have grace. Yeah, find grace in yourself. And then, yeah,
It all
you
works out.
become acceptable in the society. If you love yourself, then other people will love you. So don't expect other people to love you if you don't love yourself.
Yeah, both factors have got positive sides.
Yeah.
Being socially accepted like I said, it's not entirely bad. So there's need to strike a positive balance
balance.
between the two,
Yeah.
knowing self and also ensuring that self marries well into the social circles.
Mhm.
That's good. Yeah, yeah. That's
Interesting. Yeah. So should we say like, so where do we learn about ourselves? How do we learn? How do we go about? How is the process like? Is it something that's biological, or is it something that we learn from our societies, from our family structures? How do you envision?
taking me back to sociology because now I'm thinking academic stuff. Like,
Yes.
yeah, the things we learn, like at the primary stage, obviously there's the family,
Mm-hmm.
there's the school, there's the church,
Yeah.
it's the society at large.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
tend to pick the social cues
Mm.
and things that would then add to our own personalities.
Mm.
Say if you're Advent church goer, there are certain churchy tendencies that you pick up
Yeah.
and they're added to your personality.
Mm-hmm.
So the church has shaped the person you are. If you live in a place or in a home where people love to sing or where football is the order of the day,
Mm.
then you tend to grow up loving football.
Yeah.
So I guess it can be biological, but there are also some things that we tend to learn.
Yeah.
Because for me to know how to speak the way I'm speaking, I had to pick that up from someone. I had
Yeah.
to learn
Yeah.
pronouncing words in a certain manner. I had to learn. So
Yeah.
some of those things we pick them up and add them to our personalities, and they tend to make the person we are.
Mm.
So yeah,
Mm.
we pick sometimes we end up picking the bad things.
Yeah.
But then again, no one is perfect. So you need to keep, again, it's about striking that
Yeah.
balance.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mm.
So you need to be open-minded, because it's a process. Being self-aware, it's a process. It's not something that just ends, but it's ongoing. So even if you move to a different location, you are discovering more about yourself. So you need to be open-minded, so that you are able then to discover yourself and be able to, I think, grow.
Yeah, and funny enough, I thought we've been speaking of acceptance in all these spaces.
Yeah.
There is one space
Mhm.
that we spend, I would say, for us at least 3/4 of our time in, which is work.
Mhm.
So acceptance in places of work
Yeah.
is also a big thing.
Yeah.
Because you need your manager to accept you the way you are.
Yeah.
You need your colleagues, the ones you co-work with
Mhm.
3/4 of the time,
Yeah.
to accept you the way you are.
Mm.
And again, you also ought to be exhibiting behaviors that make you acceptable
Mm.
in the workspaces.
Mhm.
So you can't show up at work smelling foul and expect people to embrace you.
Yeah.
No, or you can't be rude to people and expect them to still be polite towards
Yeah.
you.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's it's a space we spend most of our time in,
Mm.
and it tends to take up most of our space and
Mhm.
most of our time. So yeah, I thought I should bring up about work.
Yeah. Yeah. That's very interesting.
Yeah.
And I think I have another interesting scenario. So sometimes, for example, let me just give you like a scenario. You go to this group, and then you try to fit in. Probably you do have like different values, or maybe different, I don't know how to put it, different values. Yeah. And then you try to belong to this group, and then um, the group doesn't accept you. So would we say it's a form of rejection, or you're just trying to fit in where you don't fit in?
That's a tricky one. That's a tricky one. Rejection, is it a form of rejection? Trying to fit in spaces where you don't really and truly fit in.
Yeah.
No, that's rejection. Let's call it spade a spade. Let's call it spade a spade. Because sometimes, let's go back to high school, right?
Yeah.
In high school, we had cliques.
Yeah.
And in those cliques, who is this rude somebody calling me in the middle of something important? Can you imagine that, bro? This goes to show that
He's a
we
busy person.
no, we still have lives outside outside of this. It may be a Sunday. It's a Sunday today, so
Yeah.
we did go to church. Yeah,
Did
yeah.
you?
You should have said we went to church. They don't know that. Now they know we didn't go to church. You just sold me out. But I was saying, so I was taking us back to high school.
Mhm.
We had cliques in high school.
Mhm.
At least at my high school, we had even in uni there were cliques.
Yeah.
So we had the cool kids. They hung out. Somebody's really looking for me.
Yeah.
They hung out together, and we had the nerds, the geeks.
Okay.
I wasn't that. I was just the awkward-looking kid who didn't know what they were doing in school.
Really?
I didn't play sports. I played basketball, so I was kind of cool-ish.
Yeah.
And half of the times I would climb the trees during sporting times and read my novels. And then we had other groups like that were into girls,
Yeah.
so much so that they would get the cool girls at school and whatnot.
Mhm.
And if I can only imagine if I had tried to fit myself into a group of those guys that describe themselves as cool
Yeah.
with my awkward looking self at the time.
Yeah.
Obviously they would reject me, and it would have stemmed from a point of me not knowing myself and trying to assert myself in spaces where I don't even belong.
Yeah.
So I would call it I would call it that it's rejection. You put yourself in spaces where you don't belong, and you know that you're not meant to be there. Avoid it. Avoidance is
Yeah.
always the way. For
Yeah.
me, I'm sorry to preach negativity, but stay in your lane.
Yeah, staying on in your lane, because at the end of the day, it's going to impact your self-confidence. And then if you lose your self-confidence, then yeah,
Yeah.
just
embarrassing.
avoid those
Yeah.
scenarios. Yeah.
That's good.
Okay. Yeah.
This has been nice. This has
It has
been
been a
nice.
nice
Who-
discussion.
I didn't think it was going to.
Especially since it's the first episode.
Woohoo!
I was sweating,
Well,
roasting, by the way.
it was bad. This was, I guess this is the gazillionth take.
Yeah.
We really tried. And I'm sure there will be awkward moments in this video where I may have my eyes panned towards this way or that way, trying to face the camera, because this is the first time I'm in front of a camera. I like taking selfies, but this is just different. It's nerve-wracking.
Yeah.
But you really have a good host here. So stand to enjoy more content. Yeah, and more guests probably that are more fun than I am. I doubt that.
Yeah. Don't worry. Don't worry. Expect fireworks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you very much, Lazarus, for gracing this discussion. Yeah. So we'll see you for the next episode. It's going to be fireworks.
Definitely.
Yeah. So please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and comment, and wait for more. So thank you. See you.